Hi, welcome to another episode of Chloe's Vortex. I'm Chloé Trujillo, and today I have the honor of welcoming Taylor Eyewalker to the show. I've known Taylor for many years now, and she's the real deal. I'm always inspired by her passion for deepening her knowledge and skill set to help others heal, I don't say emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually. She's constantly learning, evolving, testing new modalities. I hope I'm saying this right, but I know you do Kundalini Yoga, you did essential oils, combo, ozone therapy, NAD, Psyche, and so much more. So welcome, Taylor. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Chloe. Really appreciate
So
it.
excited to speak with you. I know a little bit about your journey, but I think we should talk about your journey and what your mission is and how you started finding your purpose in life and getting on that path of just, I want to say, even helping humanity. Like it's just on such a deeper level than just a regular healer. You're just, doing so much deep work. I know I've done combo with you. It was beautiful. I need to find time to get back to it, but I've had so much insight and so much healing from it. But anyway, I want to let you talk about, your journey, your mission, and how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, I think many of us that are on the path to healing on a very deep personal well-being level has probably gone through some sort of difficulty or crossroads or challenge or experience in their body that they didn't fully understand, that they then had the opportunity to overcome and learn a lot from. At least I'm seeing so much of that these days. And in these sort of shamanic traditions that I like to study, there's a lot about the talk of initiation. And so initiation, I think, is a really important part to really stepping into the path of being a true guide, a true facilitator, a true teacher, because that person who has been through the path of initiation has been that person that has gone through it. And so then we don't have this separation where somebody is living all up here, where they've studied all the information, they read all the books, they went through all of the quote unquote trainings, they have the qualifications, if you will, right? Albeit valid. The person that has really gone through the initiation, that has been through it, has a depth of wisdom that someone who's living up in the cerebral parts don't necessarily have. And so I think that that's really been the part of my journey that has really allowed me to step more into my path, is because I'm willing to go to all of these places that I'm being asked to go to. And so I'm willing to take myself and put myself into the whole experience.
Yes, I know. Knowing you, I know you're just like willing all in.
I know, I'm all
no
in.
fear. I don't know how, some things are scary because I know you do a lot of stuff on yourself and you experience everything. So, which makes you a better healer in general. I want to say healer, but I don't even know what to call you because I know you've been through it. Even when I did combo and I mean, you do it on yourself, like, and you experiment, like you take yourself to the edge, like how far can I go? And you really listen to whether it's the medicine or whatever you're calling to do, and you just go full on.
Yeah, well, I think that when I do that, I can speak to when I do that, it really helps me get a really great understanding of what the thing that I'm relating to is trying to communicate. And so then I start to listen with my inner ear, right? That very deep inner ear. And I'm starting to relate on a deeper level so I can listen to um what's being said, but also be the conduit for that particular medicine and then the person that's receiving it. And so I like to be this bridge, this conduit, someone that really understands it on a very deep level because they've also been through it. And in that way can facilitate receiving in a way that's very profound. And so, here we're talking about my relationship to tools, maybe on a shamanic level, right? I have a very shamanic relationship to all of the things that I relate to, which means that it's happening on many realms of existence. I relate to it through nature. I relate to it through symbols. I relate to it through sounds and voices and messages and things that I come across through animals, right? That's kind of the shamanic realm. And then I'll relate to it through kind of the divine level, like that connection to spirit. And then I also relate to everything I do on a very kind of practical, tangible, logical level of understanding it through the real world application, and then all the other ways. So I think that when we're able to kind of bridge our understanding of what it is that we're relating to on many levels of existence, we can actually become the guides, the way showers, the medicine keepers that we're meant to be. And all of this exploring has really led me to the greater understanding that on the deepest level, health and well-being starts with looking at our fundamental human patterns of consciousness. Mm-hmm. So what's going on within us on a consciousness level? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It does. And it brings me to a question, actually, because I know I came to you to try out Kambo, because same thing, I try to listen to my inner ear and seeing what I'm being called to experiment and try to evolve into a better being and free myself of all these patterns that are karmic or negative beliefs or whatever it is that's holding me back. But I want to ask you, so if somebody comes to you and they're, let's say, fully open, are you going to so you're going to suggest that person, how do you approach a person that's coming and wants to heal? Let's say, I know you've healed like some people with major illnesses. Mm-hmm. How do you approach that person and whether they're open or not open? Because I know there's a lot of people that are completely kind of scared of these modalities. Mm-hmm. What's your approach when you have a new, I don't want to say patient, new customer, new person?
Yeah. Yeah, new client and sometimes patient. It really depends on why they're coming to me. So that's question one. Why are you coming to me? Have you heard about me because of a tool that I offer? Have you heard about me through Kambo or ozone or NAD therapy or whatever it is? Usually it's some sort of modality that gets them through the door. Mm-hmm. Sometimes people meet me and are like, what do I need? And they're very open. And I usually ask, well, what's going on? And I do a lot of scanning on people and I kind of see the levels of openness. And then I might just gently pepper in suggestions to see where it lands for them. And a lot of times people start to gravitate towards one thing or the other, and then eventually start to open up to many things that I offer. Mm-hmm. But it's really in the feeling of the individual and why they might be approaching me and their level of openness and curiosity. And also, what are their belief systems around these particular things in the first place? So I always like to investigate the beliefs, because on the deepest level, I mean, the truth be told is the tools are wonderful. The tools, all of the medicines and all of that are amazing. They're very potent and active. We know that they work on many levels of existence. And then at the same time, my deepest belief is that we can actually heal through reprogramming our own belief
Yeah.
systems. And then therefore we can actually change our own selves simply by working very simple, very subtly, and with a reprogramming technique. And so I think, you know, the cat's out of the bag sometimes when people are like thinking that they need to do all of these things. They need to receive all of these treatments. And really, if they started to look at what's going on a belief level, they might find that things start to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the bigger, more, the tools that pack more punch or a greater level of strength to them will move the dial to get people open to even looking at their own beliefs.
Yeah.
So it's really about understanding subtlety and understanding density in any single human being. Like, what is somebody really truly open to?
Mm-hmm. Do you have a favorite therapy that you know, for lack of a better word, that you use? Like, is there a favorite one that you love to just do for people? Or
I mean, I love Psyche.
yeah.
Why? Because it's simple, it's effective. The more I go down my own Psyche rabbit hole and study and depth of practice, the more I actually find that it's one of the most intelligent ways to heal.
Well, that's
Because
kind of like to what you were just saying. It starts with the what we are thinking of ourselves and what beliefs we have, and if we can change that, we can already heal.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And, you know, I love the medicines I work with. I don't have a favorite. Like Kambo is not necessarily my favorite. NAD is not necessarily my favorite. I love them all for all of the different ways that they work. They're all very profound. And honestly, they all kind of work together in beautiful tandem, because my sole purpose is restoring the human experience to harmony, balance, homeostasis, and full access. That's interesting to me. I want to restore the human experience so we can access everything, we can feel balanced, we feel harmonious, we are open in all of our energy centers, and we are able to be in the world and do the things that we came here to do without so many hangups.
Yeah.
That's what I'm here to do. And so every medicine that I participate with is for the sake of that.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. So how, I want to just go back to how did you get onto this journey yourself? Was it more curiosity? Was it to heal yourself as well? Was it some calling that you've always known that you wanted to do this work? How did it start?
Yeah, it was definitely a very interesting calling, because I didn't necessarily, well, it was interesting. I was very young. I was like 5 or 6 or even 7. And I started going to holistic healers because I had problems as a kid in regards to my health. I actually think on a subconscious level, I just didn't want to go to school. And so I'd be like, I don't feel good. And I would make up like little reasons to not go to school, or not go to church, or not go to whatever it is that my family wanted me to do that I didn't want to do. I had a real dislike for doing things that I didn't genuinely want to participate in, even as a kid. And I was like, okay, well, what is a reason that I could possibly create to not do the thing?
Yeah.
And it was, my story that I had was, well, I'll just not feel well. And that was the program that I started running when I was a kid. but I started to see holistic healers, and interestingly enough, they were very helpful.
Mm.
And I also really liked their way of life. I liked the way that their room smelled and their healing room with all the essential oils. I liked how they spoke to me. I liked the way that it felt when I was in there because of the I remember the temperature, the smells. I remember the sound, the way that they sounded. It was just the people that I really wanted to be around.
Yeah.
And then I had a babysitter who she was very much in this realm and alternative medicine and healing. And for whatever reason, she took care of me after school a lot of times. And so I would spend time with her, and I would ride around in her Volvo and listen to cassette tapes on um, toxic household products, or like, like things about taking care of our well-being and our health. And so that started to program into my mind when I was earlier than 10.
Young, yeah.
Yeah. And so that really shaped and formulated kind of the way I started looking at life and the world, because I started to find out about what really felt good for me.
Mm-hmm.
And then as I moved into kind of more getting to know myself and developing who it is that I was, I found a really big draw to Chinese medicine and acupuncture and the 5 elements and meditation. And I naturally started gravitating towards those things, receiving those practices, studying those things. I really started relating to other cultures that were not my own, particularly Asian cultures. The way that they hold respect, the way that they speak, the way that they utilize language in more of these kind of pious, if you will, devotional practices like Buddhism or Taoism. And so as a young age, I started learning about that and really relating a lot to that. And so it was a deep calling of mine. And I got led astray for a little while in my quest to explore different things, but I came back to this part of myself very early on in my 20s. And I think it was because I was suffering internally so deeply. And I was just looking for a way to quell my pain.
Mm-hmm. Well, it takes courage too to kind of follow this path, because I mean, nowadays, maybe we see more and more holistic healers, or people are being heard more with this different modalities for healing. But it's still like, I'm not saying you're old, but like when you were, before you were 10, to be already attracted to this type of of work almost, and also knowing, almost honoring yourself of like, oh, I don't want to go to school, I don't want to go to church, I don't want to go to these kind of like things that put you in a box almost. Like I know on my experience is I always hated it, but I felt that this was the right thing to do, so I kind of followed the rules for a while until I couldn't take it anymore. And then I had to go back to all this healing work to figure out who I was and understand myself with, like, the help of different modalities that you actually offer. So I think it's brave to just go full on, and I'm just,
Yeah. And I mean, all the while growing up, when people would say to my mom, she's really hard-headed, you're going to have a hard time with her, she's a problem child, and there's a lot of programming when, you grow up in the early 80s, and people are telling your parents like how bad you are, how difficult you are. I mean, I just remember like, she's difficult, she's this. And so it was a lot of unwinding, being told how difficult I was, and almost like choosing difficulty as an act of rebellion because I didn't like the way that people were speaking about me. And so I accentuated, okay, you say I'm difficult, I'm going to be even more difficult.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
say I'm challenging, I'll be even more challenging. And then that was a program that I had to unwind.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
like, you don't have to be so, you also don't have to resist. Like, you can just allow.
Mm-hmm.
Let someone think whatever it is that they want to think about you, and then look at, like, I think that's why I treasure the experience of harmony so deeply,
Yeah.
as I think I really pushed towards rebellion,
Mm-hmm.
and that was counter my nature,
Yeah.
a part of kind of the product of my upbringing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, you had to.
Yeah.
So we're approaching the end of this amazing talk. I wanted you to share how people can reach you or find out more about you and your work. Obviously, I'm going to put like down below some links, you know, on your website, your socials, everything. But yeah, anything else you want to share?
To find me, I always say the right people will find me.
Yes.
You will be drawn to me when it is the right time, when it is the right place. I have a website. It's very informative, it's very educational, and there's a lot of things that I offer that extend through the span of my website also. Um, but yeah, I do my best to share potent information on social media when it feels appropriate. And so anybody that wants to find out more about what I do could always attend my website or reach out to me, ask for a consultation, say, you know, hey, I have something going on. There's some things that I want to change in my life, or I have big dreams. I was talking to a client this morning, actually. We were working with Psyche-K together, and I said this phrase. She's like, wow, that's a really good one. You need to put that one, like, you need to write that down. I said, because she was talking about these projects that she has on her shelf. And I said, you know, Psyche is not just something that we approach when we have a problem in our life that we want to change. We all have dreams that are most likely sitting on our bookshelf,
Yeah.
that they're just sitting there. We know that they're there. We think about them fondly sometimes. We question if they're ever going to be birthed into existence. But the fact of the matter is, if we give them a little bit of attention and we start to investigate whatever is going on with us and why they might be sitting on the bookshelf rather than actually being birthed, we could really live a life that we dare to dream if we just take a moment to treasure what it is those dreams are. So
I love this.
yeah, so there's, you know, there's many ways to work with me. It's just about thinking about, well, do I have a dream? Like, do I want to bring something into existence that's sitting on my bookshelf? Or, you
I think
know,
everybody probably has that somehow.
right?
Yes.
It's so true. And, you know, there's so many ways to get there. It's like you can actually get there through doing NAD. You
Yeah.
can actually get there through doing combo. Whatever the method is, that's kind of the falsity. It's like
Yeah.
the method is, that's the pretend, that's the way to get in through the door. That's a cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever pathway you choose, we choose is the potential pathway to help us get to really birthing our dreams.
Love that. I love that. Well, thank you so much, Taylor. This
Yeah,
was
thank you.
amazing. It was amazing to see you. I haven't seen you in a while, so it's great to see you. And
Nice to see
thank
you.
you for being here. And yeah, if you want to have more information, look down in the caption. I'll put all information on Taylor. And if you want more content like this, don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you again soon. Thank you. Bye.